Hey, everybody. So, Scamala Harris. President Kamala Harris? Part two. Let me see. We're going to delve into something different today. We're gonna let these people do the talking for us. So this is from MSNBC 21 hours ago.
Don't take your eyes off this presidential campaign. It's moving fast. This weekend, Vice President Harris is holding meetings with her potential VP picks as an announcement is expected in the next few days.
And this is a black man named Jonathan Capehart.
For his part, Donald Trump is speaking at a campaign rally in Atlanta this hour, hoping to regain the momentum the Harris campaign has stolen from him. He's also ditching the next scheduled presidential debate on ABC on September 10th, saying he's accepted a home turf debate on Fox News on September 4th. Harris's response? Nah, boo, I'll be there on the 10th. I'll be dissecting all that with our guests in a moment, but first...
This man said, "No, boo," on MSNBC. Let y'all run that back.
Nah, boo, I'll be there on the 10th. I'll be dissecting all that with our guests in a moment. But first, I want to address Trump's racist assertion that the VP turned black. If you want to know just how black Vice President Kamala Harris is, just turn to page 101 of her 2019 book, The Truths We Hold. She writes about that time as California Attorney General during last decade's mortgage crisis when she told her staff to get the chairman and CEO of JP Morgan Chase on the phone. He was about to kill a settlement deal with the states. Told he was on the line, Harris writes, "I took off my earrings, the Oakland in me, and picked up the receiver." Listen, Oakland is as synonymous with being black as taking off your earrings before you're about to administer a figurative or literal beatdown.
He said, Oakland is as black as taking off your earrings and about to give somebody a beatdown. This is what they think being a black person and a black woman is. I hope y'all understand that.
Is as synonymous with being black as taking off your earrings before you're about to administer a figurative or literal beatdown. If you didn't know that Harris went to an HBCU, Howard University, or is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha, the first black sorority in the United States that was founded at Howard, her invocation of Oakland and earrings would be all you needed to know about her blackness.
So earrings and being from Oakland makes you black. So what about all them white girls that's out there? And there are plenty of non-minorities that attend HBCUs. Are they now black?
Harris didn't just happen to turn black, as trifling Donald Trump told a convention of black journalists this week. Her father was black. She was raised black. And we have her mother, Scamala, a cancer researcher who immigrated to the United States from India for college, to thank for it. Harris writes in her book, quote, "For almost the moment she arrived from India, she chose and was welcomed to and enveloped in the black community. It was the foundation of her new American life." But Harris adds this very important point.
So her mother was welcomed into the black community, and now she's expecting people to have no idea about her background or her policies or anything, because I haven't heard any policies that she's supposed to be coming with. It seems like to me everything is just based on, well, at least I'm not Trump. Hey, I'm black. I got Megan Thee Stallion up here with me. Now we're supposed to say, all right, well, her Indian mother was accepted by blacks. Now you guys accept her.
My mother understood very well that she was raising two black daughters. She knew that her adopted homeland would see Maya and me as black girls, and she was determined to make sure we would grow into confident, proud black women. And we have seen that confident, proud black woman on display in the nearly 2 weeks that she has been the de facto Democratic nominee for President of the United States.
When have you ever heard of the incumbent president saying, well, I give up, I'm not going to run? And then there's no readiness or preparedness in this person. She's just pushed onto you because she's black. You know, none of these other potential Democratic presidential candidates were given a chance or even talked about. As soon as Biden was saying, hey, I'm not going to run, all right, it's going to be Kamala Harris. Then nobody questioned that. Just overnight.
We saw it in the sister girl look Harris gave Senator Richard Burr when he interrupted her during her grilling of then Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. We saw it in how she paused after saying this during her visit to the Wilmington campaign office.
In those roles, I took on perpetrators of all kinds.
So because she stopped talking and smiled and looked at the crowd, she's black.
And we heard it and saw it in Atlanta this week when she looked directly into the camera and challenged Trump to debate her next month.
If you got something to say,
I haven't seen anything that black on the presidential stage since Barack Obama sang Amazing Grace. Donald Trump is so flummoxed by Harris that he's trying to wield her race and gender as weapons against her, as if they are some kind of disqualifying weight for her to bear. And that's rich coming from a twice impeached, 4 times indicted, convicted on 34 felony counts former president who was also found liable for fraud and sexual abuse and indicted for trying to overturn the 2020 election. Oh, and steal national security secrets.
What if I was foolish enough to say, well, that sounds like some black shit to me? You know, getting jammed up with the law, getting arrested, getting a felony, still keeping your job. I could say, well, that's some black shit, right? And then y'all will say, oh man, you tripping.
If you've noticed, Vice President Harris spends little time addressing Trump's racism and misogyny. That's because Vice President Harris is not running to be the black president or the Indian American president, the woman president, or even the black woman president. She's running to be president, period. Harris is not about to let the foolishness of a mediocre and entitled white man who thinks he's better than she is deter her from her goal. And that's as black as it gets.
Man, imagine if you didn't have your own brain and mind. Let's go here. Let's get to some things that her followers will not be able to ignore.
Brown, the former mayor of San Francisco, was a very important figure in Kamala Harris's early life in politics. He was her much older lover.
This is from the New York Post. This is an investigative journalist.
Brown, the former mayor of San Francisco, was a very important figure in Kamala Harris's early life in politics. He was her much older lover. There was like a gap of 30 years. She started seeing him in her late 20s. When she was an up-and-coming prosecutor, he lavished her with gifts. He gave her a BMW. He invited her to the Oscars. They went to Paris together. And most importantly, he made introductions in that world of Democratic Democratic politics. Willie Brown definitely took credit for helping her career and putting her on the path of this meteoric rise, this greatness, if you will. He helped her in her campaign to be the district attorney of San Francisco. Later on, she would go on to be the Attorney General of California, and she held that position twice. He was an incredibly important figure in her career. I reached out to him to get his comments about how he felt about her running for president. His assistant pointedly said he wasn't going to speak.
So she's 20-something, screwing around with a man that's 60-something. He's giving her Beamers and trips to Paris and trips to the Grammys and Oscars and all this. Then magically, she's a lawyer. She's this, she's that. But he was already all that, so she got put on. Okay. I'm going to skip over the Montel Williams thing because, who needs that? There's also the time she went on the show with Mindy Kaling, who's pretty much just famous for being on The Office as an Indian woman. And then they gave her a bunch of her own shows and different things further on down the line once it became cool to be a minority in America. And don't act like you don't know it didn't become cool after a certain point in time. Let's be for real. So let's go to this now. I want to see her go on here and be Indian with the Indian woman,
Except for the consequences of our future president not liking my Indian food.
Can I just tell you something?
Yeah.
I've never made Joseph.
Are you stressed for making Indian food?
Oh my God, you do it at a taster's. Oh my, you have no idea. This is how my mother kept all of her stuff.
This is so funny. I told my dad I was like bringing over the stuff from the store. He's like, obviously I put them in Taster's Choice.
But this literally was how my mother kept all of this stuff.
It's so funny.
What is that?
Do they tell each
I
other?
don't know.
Another interesting parallel between Kamala and Obama. I've always heard people tell me that, you get your culture from your mother. And that's the person that's really the homemaker and who's cultivating you and going to leave their mark onto you. But Obama had a Kenyan father and a white mother. And Kenyans hate niggas. Africans hate niggas. But somehow we're going to count that for him, right? But then Obama was raised in a white household with his white mother and white grandmother. All right? She was raised with her Indian family. Not a Native American Indian, red dot Indian. So, I'm just really waiting on people to start not waking up or putting it together, but at least admitting that this is what I thought it was.
Hi guys, it's Mindy. I'm here in my kitchen, and today we are cooking, but we have a very special guest. Very special. Senator Kamala Harris.
Hi guys.
Wait, so here's what I want to know.
Okay.
Is it respectful to call, I should be calling you Senator Harris, right?
No, you should not. That's not on my birth certificate.
Okay.
Call
Kamala?
Yes, please.
Okay, because the Indian in me, I feel like my parents,
Just
my
don't
dad
call
will
me-
watch this.
Just don't call me auntie.
Okay, I won't call you auntie. They'll be
Don't call me auntie. I wonder what that Jonathan Capehart would think of that, because an auntie is a term of endearment in the black community.
like, how could you call her by her first name? She's worked so hard. Okay, so what we're gonna cook today
Okay.
is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you are Indian.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and I don't know that everybody knows that.
Uh-oh. Now, here we go. Here we go. Now.
Worked so hard. Okay, so what we're gonna cook today
Okay.
is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you are Indian.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and I don't know that everybody knows that, but I find that wherever I go and I see Indian people at the supermarket, on the street, everyone's like, Kamala Harris is Indian, right? It's like our thing we're so excited about. to have you running for president.
Yeah.
So we're both Indian,
Yes.
but actually we're both South Indian.
Yes. You look like the entire one half of my family.
Okay, thank you.
You do.
I've been telling people
You
we're
do.
related already,
Yeah.
so this is perfect. It's basically true. And so were you raised eating South Indian food?
South Indian food, lots of rice and yogurt, potato curry, dal, lots of dal, idli.
Yes, Italy. That's a deep cut. Okay, so what we're
Don't you guys remember the other day when she was talking about she was with somebody and they had tubs of greens and they were cleaning out greens in the tub? But now we're seeing what she was really eating, right? And then we're going to end this here. This is her aunt.
Kindly tell us about the upbringing that Kamala Harris had and the mother's influence on her life.
See, we were not there when her mother was bringing her up. But from what we saw, she was a strict mother. She taught her values. She told her what to do. And she told her to fight for everything. That is the kind of a thing.
Ma'am, and also now you can see that Kamala Harris has risen to such a high position. Do you see the same streak of rebellion that you saw in her mother in Kamala Harris and in the way she has actually fought her way to the top?
Yes, definitely. Because Shamla would have been very happy had she been alive. Unfortunately, she died very young. But, she would have been very happy because she brought them up to come up to this level. And I knew Shamla when Kamala was first fighting for the DA post in San Francisco. I was in California at that time. And Kamala was thinking of standing for the DA post. And we were talking about it and we knew about it. And from that time I knew that Kamala wanted to get somewhere. And she said, I'm going to do it and I'm going to become a DA. And that's how she did. She became a DA, then she became an Attorney General, then she became a Senator. That is the kind of a thing.
Yeah, we ain't mentioning the Willie Brown part. Don't talk about how she met him and then she did all that. But that's going to conclude today's portion. And, we're looking forward to part 3.